Faces, Claryberry here, and I want to talk with you guys today about an issue that I'm sort of just kind of learning a little bit extra about. You always hear the stuff about detoxing and weight loss and yada yada yada, but it's easy to kind of overlook how the two are actually connected, and this is something that I haven't really actually thought about. I mean, it makes sense that if you have more of anything in your body, it's going to weigh you down. But how exactly do random toxins actually affect our weight? I know a lot of people will smoke cigarettes in order to stay skinny. And of course, there's other factors that are going on there. But on average, usually when you have a lot of toxins going through your body, it's going to slow down all of your functions. You're going to have like a toxic overload if it gets too bad. And what happens is when your body has a toxic overload, one of the strategies that it uses is actually to expand the number of fat cells. Okay? I didn't know this either. And basically what happens is your body will stuff the fat cells with toxins as well as fat. So the reason why your body does that is probably to just get the toxic, trash, whatever it is, out of the way of the circulation and away from your organs. And so by kind of stuffing that into the fat cells, it helps to clear it out of the way. And so this is what is meant, by we're storing all these toxins and yada yada yada. So obviously this causes complications, easy weight gain, and basically what happens is it really messes with your weight loss goals because your body is just like holding on to this toxic waste. It doesn't want to go back into the rest of your system. So there's obviously a lot of toxins going on these days, and there's just a lot more toxins out there. I mean, with all the pollutants that we've created and glycophosphates, and there's heavy metals, there's nuclear radiation everywhere, there's plastic in the seas, there's pharmaceuticals from all the, agriculture, animals everywhere. I mean, there's so many different things that we have to worry about. And this is why, part of the reason why we're having an increase in, in obesity. And also there's a lot of issues with, people having hormone disruptions and things like that, damage metabolisms, and all the stuff like that. So even, there was more toxic compounds that were put into the environment and they were banned, but the damage has already been done because they're already in our cells. So the EPA actually did a program called the National Human Adipose Tissue Survey. This is in 1982 and 1987. They were analyzing human fat samples from cadavers throughout different areas of the country, and they were looking for types of toxins that accumulate in fat. And one of the big ones that they found were dioxin, and it was found in 100% of the fat samples. So there's, other chemicals, 3 more dioxins that were found in 90% of the fat samples. PCBs were found in 83%. So we know that our bodies, our fat cells, are storing multiple toxins from human fat. And this is associated, like I said, with the obesity risk. So not only is it in the foods and the air we breathe, but these toxins are actually now in the soil that we are consuming all across America. So this is something we are going to have to be dealing with for some time. But like I said, as we look at this stuff, how bad are these toxins for us? Well, the fat cells get damaged. Okay, it increases inflammation for all of this to happen. There's the new fat cells are forming, which increases inflammation, and the newly formed fat cells can actually be damaged by the toxins, so they can't metabolically perform. So they can't take in the fats, and obviously what's going to happen is you're going to have an overload because you can't process these fats. Fats are made to be stored to be used, but if they're not being processed properly, then they're not being used properly either. So what happens is these damaged fat cells actually get filled up with extra fat and toxins, and they can't do what the normal fat cells are doing. So this is actually directly linked to increase type 2 diabetes. They actually suppress our natural hormones as well, our fat cell hormones. There are several studies that confirm that PCBs actually increase diabetes risk. So again, for the thyroid, none of this is good news either. It messes up all of your functions. When one of your areas of your body is actually, messed up, it actually is going to eventually start weighing on your other areas and your other organs as well. So when your thyroid goes down, you can have hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. What can we do to aid in detoxification? Well, one of the first things that you can do is stop eating milk, dairy, and all the other animal products. I know that everybody knows there's a little food chain, and people have been hearing for a decade now at least that when you eat, the animals, as you get higher and higher up in the food chain, they have more and more, and really if you're eating any animal, it's going to have more toxins because, again, not only animals store their toxins in their fat cells, but guess what? So do the animals. All the fish, all the birds, all the mammals, everything we're eating is having fat cells that are holding on to. So you're not only getting the pollution and everything that's in the groundwater and that's in the land and that's in the air, you're also getting the pollution that came into contact with any food or any part of that animal's life over and over and over again. So obviously the main thing to do is to completely eliminate these foods from your diet. This is just one reason why this makes you healthier, but there are numerous other reasons why eating meat and dairy is absolutely horrible for you. There's more and more studies about this coming out every day. Check the World Health Organization guidelines that just came out the other day, and you can see, this is huge for your health. It's one of the best things you can do. It's like the old smoking, or meat eating is the new smoking. And the meat and dairy industry has done everything they could, but there's still lots and lots of information out here. So anyway, back to the fat cells. When you are eating actually less animal products and less animal products, then you actually are going to be consuming less fat in general and less hormones. So your body's going to be able to get back to normal faster. Not only that, but your digestion is going to become a lot better. Talk to any vegan and you'll know digestion definitely improves. You can feel it, you can see it, everything. It just improves because meat actually will sit in your gut and just sit there and take forever. It could take up to 6 hours for one meaty meal to digest. And most fruits and vegetables will go through your stomach and be fully digested from your stomach in about 15 minutes to maybe an hour, depending on how much you're eating. So whenever your body doesn't have to work that hard to digest, your body can actually work harder to clear out toxins. So drinking a lot of water, obviously, a lot of good nutrients. If you go Google, foods that help with detoxing, you're not going to see meat or dairy or, any animal product on that list. You're going to see lots of vegan, fruity vegetables and fruits. Fruity vegetables and fruits. Anyway, you know what I mean here. But it's, it's very obvious. You want to do warm lemon water in the morning. You want to give up your coffee. And you want to switch to, of course, organic all across the board. If not organic, non-GMO. Because, again, we don't need food that has toxins added into it. Why would you want food with glyphosate in it? It just doesn't make any sense. So, again, very easy things that you can do. And it's funny because nobody talks about this in the headlines because there's not a drug to actually cure it. This would cause you to actually have to give up things, actually have to work. And I don't really recommend fasting for this type of thing. This is going to take a long-term daily commitment, to change your lifestyle. And again, not only the things you're eating, but if you're smoking weed, if you're drinking lots of alcohol, if you're around a toxic area in your life, if you have toxic work, your toxic cleaners. In my house, we don't use any toxic cleaners. It's basically all vinegar, baking soda, lemon lime based, things like that, or maybe a natural, dish soap like 7th generation or something like that. And, these are the changes that you actually need to make to detoxify your house. If you haven't seen Chimerical, I highly recommend this. It was on Netflix. I think you can maybe even see it on YouTube. It was a very good movie. There's another one recently. This is really, a lot of chemicals that our bodies are just not designed to deal with. So again, water is huge. Most people don't even drink enough water. Make sure that you're keeping you're eating enough fiber, which you're already going to be doing on a daily basis, because that fiber is going to help you obviously poop on a regular basis, basically, and help you to. That's one ways that is gonna get these toxins out of your body. So again, water is also good for that as well. Making sure you get active, making sure you're sweating almost every single day is a really good idea. Your sweat is, another way that your body is going to get these toxins out of your body. And also, I think that doing yoga and doing deep breathing exercises, it kind of goes along with exercising, because obviously you're deep breathing while you're exercising, but it's a whole nother thing to actually sit and relax and let your body relax and rest and do some deep breathing exercises throughout your day as well, because these again are going to really help you to heal and detoxify. And a lot of people I've known this for a really long time, studying breathing, we don't breathe right. We don't breathe correctly. People breathe very shallowly. We get stressed out. And really taking that time to relax and breathe, whether you're doing it yoga style, meditation style, or you're just sitting there for a few minutes, in the middle of a busy day and saying, I'm just going to sit here for 5-10 minutes at least would be optimal. Breathe all the way down to your belly. If your belly's not going out during a deep breath, you're not breathing fully enough. You can even try to breathe all the way down to your toes. And like I said, at least 5 minutes a day. You want to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. Fresh air, getting out into nature. These things are all going to really help our body, help our tissues, help oxygenate our whole bodies. I mean, if you can go to an oxygen bar or something, if you have that available to you, that would probably be a great thing for you to do. So again, just gentle stretching, just going outside, and also making sure that you have enough vitamin D, enough sunlight, things like that. And doing these things are going to help you mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's one of the greatest things. Being oxygenated greatly helps not only detoxification, but how efficiently your nutrients can be absorbed and how they can be utilized. And on a cellular level, it really has to deal with this. Oh, and one thing I wanted to say back to the breathing is that most people actually don't realize that the majority of the fat that leaves your body actually leaves through the breath. So that's really interesting, I think. Consider these things. I know it's hard to consider all the different aspects of our health and all the different things you have to be worried about, but this is a pretty short list of things that you can do to really help your body. And again, you don't have to worry about all of the things. You don't have to worry about hypothyroidism, worry about detox, worry about this, worry about that. Just wrap it all up together and realize what's good for you is good for the animals, it's good for the earth, it's good for you in so many different ways. So by doing these things, you're not just helping with weight loss, you're not just helping with detox, you're helping with your mental health, you're helping with your entire health in the future, of our earth and our kids. So anyway, I'm going to stop ranting on this subject for a while. I hope you guys learned a little bit. I know I am definitely going to be focusing on keeping my toxins low and kind of going at more holistic type of lifestyle. If you guys have any questions, comments down below, anything to add, and thank you so much for being here with me during my journey. I hope you guys are feeling great, and don't forget to eat your fruit.